Sound check. Test mic. Hello and welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. So today, the Diablo 4 developer held their what they call the sit-down campfire chat, wherein they have it was hosted by Riker, and they discuss on what's going to happen, the seasonal mechanics, what will be the changes that are coming soon on the upcoming season 11. So there will be a PTR that is going to start on Tuesday, October 21st up to October 28th. So we have the again the opportunity to test, to give some feedback, bug reports, or the mechanics on what's going to happen on season 11. And there is a huge, for me it's a very huge change on what's going to happen. So basically I want to cover it today. Just I want to record it, and I want to make a brief. I have already browsed everything, so what I'm going to do is just record and discuss briefly what are the changes, and a brief preview on what's going to happen on the season 11 mechanics. And probably I'm gonna tackle just a brief and I'm very excited on what is the new unique item for the necromancer. So I'm just gonna we're just gonna browse that. I'm going to discuss about it, and then probably some of the new, basically that's not that much, but more importantly is more on the changes. I think more on the blood skills, and then some rework on most of the items, and I think one of the mythics or a couple of mythics as well. So let me just quickly double check to ensure that I'm recording this properly. Recording desktop, I'm in game. So let me play this one. Pause, audio, microphone. Double check to ensure that I'm recording this. Okay. What I'm going to do is to combine both of the soundtracks. Separate track, single track. So I think it's here. Can I open this so that when I browse, is it big enough? Let me turn off. Where is? Let's turn off the game capture for a while. 2.5.0. Here we go. I think October 28th. So I'm seeing here that the season 11 is going to start somewhere at the end of November. The season 11 will start on end of November. So if we take a look close on what's going to happen, is that I don't know, it's because of the upcoming like holiday, the December holiday. I feel like I don't know if so many people are going to take their vacation. It's like the season 10 started September 26, and then if it's going to end on November, end of November, it's like it's just a 2 months duration for the season 10, and then season 11 will start. So let's just say it will run up to February, right? So another 3 months. But the developers here are really made some change, and it's a huge change, and it's basically an overhaul, especially on our defensive mechanics. Probably I'm gonna turn off also the where's that alert sub goals. Let's turn that off. Is it off? Okay, so we're good. Probably before my character gets disconnected, let me just log in my character for a while. Then I'm going to leave because the background sound inside the game, especially when you are in town, is like too subtle. Or maybe let's go to the den. Usually I'm always taking my video recording on the den.
Let's go.
When I record. Okay. Okay, let me prep. So I'm gonna start the recording now. So just bear with me. So here we go. Let's go. Hi everyone. So the Diablo 4 developers held their once again their sit-down campfire chat for the 2.5.0 PDR, which is the upcoming season 11 mechanics and changes on the game. So I'm just gonna briefly discuss on what are going to be the changes on season 11, the preview of the seasonal mechanics, and I'm just gonna go over basically only for the necromancer side because I only play the necromancer. So I'm just gonna go over just a brief on what are the new items, changes on the necromancer skills, and the new item. So I'm very excited on what's going to happen on season 11. So let's start with the what are the changes. So the changes on season 11 will be the tempering and masterworking. Then the fortification, they have reworked the fortification mechanic, and the defenses, which is our resistances and our armor. We will go over with those later. So let's start with the tempering and masterworking. So for the tempering, so technically we can now temper an affix, and we can now choose the tempering affix that we want. However, we can only temper an item. We can only add a tempering affix with one affix only. However, they are changing the number of affix on the legendary items from 3 to 4. So basically, we are still getting compensated with that loss of one temper affix. So now basically we have it's like we are still compensated with that affix, but we now have a 4 affix that we are going to look through on the drops, that to ensure that we have at least 3 out of 4 of the affix that we really need, and we will just enchant the 4th one to make the gear perfect. So now again, so all of the tempering recipe that we're getting, so we can now temper the affix, and we can choose on the item. And for the tempering, we can temper the rare items has 3 tempers, and then 5 tempers for the legendary items. And we can still get the scroll of restoration, and the scroll of restoration will for example, we are no longer breaking the item. So once we temper the item, so we now have the tempered affix, then let's just say we are rolling for a if we want, I think it's going on with the master working. We will just discuss it later. So I think for the scroll of restoration, it will be incorporated with the master working. So again, for the tempering, so we can only add 1 affix, and then we now have 4 affixes on the legendary item. Now master working. So master working is no longer like ranking 1 to 4 and then we're adding affix. So now they remove that, wherein the master working is no longer increasing the affix values, but rather it increases the quality of the item. So the quality, it goes with the armor on the armor gears, resistances on the rings, and basically the jewelries, and then for the weapon, so basically damage. So that is the one that the master working is now increasing up to maximum of 20. So 20, so that's 20% increase on the item. Once the item reach the maximum threshold, it will now can be upgraded to a what they call the capstone bonus. So this capstone bonus, what it does, if the item doesn't have a GA, a greater affix, so you can upgrade it, and then it will randomly choose an affix to make it a greater affix. So same thing, if you have a ancestral item with 1 GA, then if you master work it, then you can add 1 more GA on the item, and so on. Like if you have 3 GA and then you have 1, then you can roll for the 4th one to become a GA. And the greater affix that the capstone bonus will upgrade, it also includes the temper affix. So if you have, say, a damage multiplier on the weapon, so you can also GA that temper affix. And then now we have, for the season 11, we now have what they call the sanctification. The sanctification, from the example on what they have, is that it seems like this can be done once per item, and what it does, it seems like it adds a random aspect on the item. So this is only a one-time upgrade on the item, so we just to make sure that we have the right. Basically, it's just more on getting your luck, and if you're lucky to get that affix, then you will have that additional aspect. Basically, for example, for the necromancer on the weapon, if you need the grasping veins, so instead of putting it as an aspect, if you're lucky, if you get that grasping veins, I guess, then you can have that on your one of your weapons. So imagine it's like you're gonna have a double aspect, considering that you are lucky that you get the right affix on your build. So that is the mechanic on next season. And then on top of that, I think they're also changing the behavior of the monster. And as far as the sit down with the developers, they said that they are avoiding that, not avoiding, but they're changing that the affix on the elites, that it contains multiple crowd control. Like I believe I have been, I've been very frustrated on my stream. Like if you have, imagine you have this terror, you have this frozen, and then you have this chilling wind. So it's like it activates one after the other of those crowd control mechanics, and then basically you are there's nothing you can do, and you cannot do anything with those crowd control that the monster will done to you. So that's one of their what they have explained on what will be the changes on the elites and some of the behaviors of the monsters as well. Now, defense, health, and renown. So one of the changes also, they have said that the renown, those bonuses, we are no longer carrying it on the season. It will retain on the Eternal Realm, but we can get those plus 2 Paragon points, the additional skill points based on what they call the seasonal rank that as we play on the game. So anyway, we will go over that. Sorry, I was excited to discuss it. So overhaul on the so we now have what they call the toughness. So we have the armor. So armor and resistances now are becoming rating. So right now, once we cap our resistances are capped at 75%, we can go by adding another item, we can increase it up to a maximum of 85%. Then our armor is capped at 1000, and then it reduces your physical damage by 85%. Now they're changing the armor to be a reduction, damage reduction, both physical and non-physical, basically all damaged. So that's the purpose now of the armor. And then the resistances are now kind of rating. So I guess it's like there's no more cap on the resistances, I believe. It's just you can keep adding the resistances considering what are the strength of the monsters and what is the toughness. And now they have now what they call the toughness rating. So it's like same thing with the attack power. So attack power determines like how I would say powerful, like the rating of basically like say 100k, meaning you're doing like 1 billion damage with that kind of rating. But I believe it's at the game, like it's not really you're not looking into the attack power, but more on you're looking at the actual damage output that you are dealing. But for now, for the toughness, on the upcoming season, so the toughness is like your defense meter, that if you reach this point, like are you okay with your defenses, with your, I would say when we go now on the pit, will there be like some kind of pit 75 minimum rating, minimum toughness rating is say 1000. If your rating is 1000, if your toughness rating is 800, are you still okay, or you're gonna die more frequently? Probably something like that. And then they're now also changing the healing. They're also adding back the life on hit, and I think they're changing how the healing works, I guess. And then fortification redesign. Now the fortification, basically it's easy to fortify, and then once you get fortification, then you have this 15% damage reduction. And basically before, the purpose of the fortification is it ties up to the overpower mechanic, and now that this fortification, the additional life on the overpowered damage has been removed, so now they are reworking the fortify now as a another the way they explain it is like the fortification now adds on top of your life, and then when we get hit, the fortification some kind of our shield now. So the way I see it is like because we are trying, for example, if you're doing the overpower build, you're trying to protect your life, so we are relying on the barrier. So now we can use the barrier, or with the fortification we can let the fortification to help on mitigating the damage before they hit our life. Maybe something like that. That's how I understand that the new rework on the fortification. I'm not going over to the entire on the patch notes, but you can feel free to look on the patch notes. I'll put the patch notes on the link on that on the patch notes on the description box below. But basically, the entire details with how this new mechanic works will be on the PTR. So now we're having this lesser evils that will be spawning. So this is the new seasonal mechanic. So Blood Maiden on Helltide will now be replaced with Belial. With Duriel. So I think Andariel will be spawning on Undercity. And then Belial will be spawning on the pit. I think there's another one. I think there's a new boss called Asmodan. He is the one of the lesser prime evils, if I'm not mistaken, back in Diablo 3. So this bosses will give us some. So this is the new mechanic. So we're as we play Helltides, Undercity, so we will have this kind of powers that makes our farming more efficient and give us more rewards. So those are the defined gifts. So I think they have explained it here, what will be the rewards and what will be the effect on what we'll be getting. So there's this Essence of Shadows, the Sin, Hellfire, Anguish, Scream, and now they are now introducing the beta of the Ascend the Tower. So this is like a pit but more challenging, and I believe there's no cost to enter the tower. So now we have leaderboards. So players who really want to to showcase their build and their ability to really to showcase their skills on the game. So this is now we have the leaderboard, so players can hop in and then showcase their skills and their build. So now we will have the leaderboard. So I think that is also available on the season PTR. So basically I will be playing the PTR, but most probably I'm just gonna focus on probably the new items on the Necromancer, and then basically the new mechanic on what's going to happen, like the tempering, masterworking, the new fortification. So the new effect of the rework of the fortification. So introducing season rank. So this is the one I'm talking about. So now we have Renown. So so we have season rank 1 to 6, and then each rank we will be given by some kind of a skill. So basically what the skills, I believe the Paragon board, those bonuses that we got, like right now when we start the game we have this 14 levels of skill points, 14 skill points right away, because that came from Lilith, those renown points from completing the chapters of each town. So those achievement points, so those achievements, that the rewards that we got, so those are the renown. So we can still get them, but not right away, but we're getting it through playing the game by getting these season ranks. And then the bonus from the altars of Lilith and then the tenets of the Akarat will be we can still get it, but it will just give some experience points and some minor rewards. And now they're bringing back the capstone dungeon, so there is no more torment 1 to 4. There's no more you don't need to go to torment 1 to clear I think the pit 20. So we have a capstone dungeon. This was the previous mechanics, I think back when, I think before season 4. So we have this capstone dungeon. So you clear capstone for level 50, and then you have this for level 75. So So we have now just unlocking from normal. Then when you unlock the normal, when you clear this menagerie on the normal mode, then you go to expert. When you clear this one, then you go to this one, then so on and so forth. So when you clear this sins of the many, then you are now at torment 3, then you can now go to torment 4. And they have also removed the penalty for the armor and the resistances on torment difficulty. So they are reworking how, again, the armor and the resistances work. The armor and resistance penalties per torment tiers has been removed. So yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm correct. Okay, we're Captain Dungeons, and then new unique items. So items: Necromancer, Grey Bloom. The new. This is the one I'm talking about on my stream. Like, how about having a multiple golems at one? Now we have it, but we're having 3 mini golems, but each of the golems is up to 60% of their normal damage, plus they gain a 30% attack speed. So technically, if you have 3 golems at 60, so basically you are having a golem of 180 damage. So it's like you have a golem that is dealing with an additional 80% damage. I hope they make it 5 though. I hope they make it 5 though. I don't know how strong the 3 golems will be though. So anyway, let's go over with the patch notes very quickly. I think they have a few minor changes on the Vessel of Hatred, so just bear with me as I scroll. So it's gonna be a bit fast. Paragon items rune. They have some changes on the Sal rune, fixing an issue for the Sal rune and Harmony rune. Base game, so we're not going. Okay, Necromancer, Grey Bloom. This one's respawn 3 smaller golems, so hopefully I'll try to test this out on the PTR. Let's see how it goes. So balance update. So Melted Heart of Selig. So I believe they have said this, like the way it works now, that instead of having a maximum resource, you get a primary resource by 3% of your primary stats. So if you're intelligence based stat, so 3% of that will be your primary resource, and then your damage, the damage that you will be taking will be taken from your primary resource. So you have, and I don't know what's 75 reduced life, so you only have like 25% life. So it's like a low life kind of build. So we don't know. So as you can see, what most changes, especially on the armor and the resistances, they have increased all of the resistances. And as I have said a while ago, they are changing the armor and the resistances as a rating type. So I think there's no more cap. That's my assumption. It's like, imagine this one, all resistances updated to 80 all resistance, maximum resistance affix replaced with resistance percentage affix, and then maximum resistance per element replaced with 20 to 40% resistance per element. So we'll see. Most of the resistances has been changed. So what you will notice is, which I agree on what they are changing here, especially the maximum life. Basically, you have so many maximum life on your Paragon board, and mostly on your Paragon board, and maybe on your character special abilities, like on the Necromancer, the Book of the Dead. When you have so many multipliers, especially on the maximum life, just a minimal flat life it will increase your health significantly because you have so many multipliers rather than you're getting more multipliers. So if you can see here, they're changing the maximum life affix replaced with maximum life affix, because once you equip the temerity, when you have those so many maximum life multipliers, you will gain more life. And now they're changing the volt's will with maximum life with critical strike chance affix. So flicker step. Now see, flicker step now lightning resistance affix now replaced with all resistance affix. That's better. The damage reduction. So now they are removing the damage reduction. Close affix replaced with life affix, because we don't need the damage reduction now. The damage reduction is coming from the armor. Same thing with this one, Banish Lord Talisman, maximum life affix now replaced with flat life affix, because if you equip this maximum life, it will add only a little bit, but if you add a flat life, it will increase your life significantly. So you can see now they are reducing the fortification value because it's easy to fortify, and now the fortification now gives us another pool of, basically the fortification is now acting like a barrier that mitigates the damage based on the amount of fortification that you have. And for the necromancer, we are very efficient on fortification through our the necrotic carapace and especially the blood skills. So now they're increasing some of the aspects from rank 16 to 21. Again, barbarian, I'm not familiar with that. We'll just go over with our necromancer. Now, Book of the Dead. Respawn timer for the golem 20 to 10 seconds. That is good. Golem's ability targets. The golem's active ability targets an enemy. Your skeletal warriors and mages will now focus on the target. So I don't know if the golem, when we cast the ability, can we cast the ability directly to the enemy? Because if this is just, you know, when you target, when you activate the golem's ability, especially when you're in combat, sometimes you're just casting the skill like you don't know where you're going to hit, right? So if you're going to target an enemy, does it allows you to like really like specifically target an enemy, or is it by RNG or by AI of the golem? When it lands, does the enemy that it hits first, that's the one that our minions will target. But at least this is a good thing that through the help of the golem, through our golem, we will now have the ability to at least redirect and concentrate our minions' attack. And same thing here, the fortification has been reduced to 3% to 0.1%. And again, because we are efficient on fortification, if we can fortify most of the time, it's like a barrier all the time. Then we have increased damage on corpse explosion, blighted corpse explosion, and the bone spirit now only consume up to 500 essence. I wonder if there's really a way that we can increase the our essence more than 500. That they have mentioned that the maximum is only 500. Basically, this is also tied up with the aspect of adaptation, that the maximum essence also that you can. Is it adaptation? Can't remember. Is it adaptation that you're only allowed to increase the damage of your basic skill? I think 0.6%, and then up to a certain essence only, a maximum essence only. I think it was the adaptability. Passives, Kalon's Edict. This is a good change. Previously, we need the attack speed and the increase in damage provided by the Kalon's Edict is based on the number of minions. Now, it is a stable. Once we get this key passive, it gives a 40% increased damage and 40% attack speed. So it's like if we want to play just the golem build only without the mages, without the skeletal minions, so we're not losing the buff from the speed and the damage of the Kalon's Edict, even with 3 golems. However, the multiplier damage from the Hellbent Commander is the one that we will be losing. But basically, we can do a combination of maybe Golem Warriors. So that's 3 and then 5, right? Am I correct? Three, four. I think Skeleton Warriors are 4 at maximum, and then 3 for the mages. And then if we have the Occult Dominion, then 6 on the Warriors and then 4 on the mage. But let's just say you don't want the Occult Dominion, you just want to play the Warriors and with the Warriors and the Golem. So you have 8, so you have 7 in total, right? So you can get that. You can still get the benefit from the Hellbent Commander. Then Necrotic Carapace, like I said, so they are reducing the basically they have reduced it to basically quite big. But then again, I think we will still test this one if this is enough for us to really generate a decent amount of Fortify. Drained Vitality. What is Drained Vitality? Fortify reduced from 2.5 to 0.5 maximum life. Drained Vitality. I believe this is the fortification when you deal when you overpower something. Supernatural Blood Surge. So the one that gives us a multiplier damage. So now while fortified, and with regards to fortification, so in the current state of the game, when you say fortify, you have this kind of symbol on your health bar that you are fortified. When the fortification amount is equal to your maximum life, your current health, or above your current health, you are fortified. Now the fortification state is that you become fortified even just a tiny bit of fortification that you have. If you build up say even just a 0.1 fortification, you are already fortified. So that is a good change here, that when you don't need to have a you don't need to be a maximum fortification to become fortified, to become in a state of fortified. So just a very small amount of value, you are fortified, then our Blood Surge will now deal increase in damage. As simple as that. The same thing, they have also changing the maximum life, 3% fortify, chance to fortify. Okay, hungry blood, so they're also changing the hungry blood. So they are I think the only thing that they're changing here is this statement: when it first hits an enemy that is already lands. So I think it's no longer waiting for it is no longer waiting for an enemy to be lanced. When your blood lance launch another projectile, it will hit the enemy right away. And then we have this increased ranks again on some of our aspects. Then Mutilator Plate, so they are reducing the fortification. And now see, maximum life, they're changing it to flat life. I think except for the Indira's Memory. Indira's Memory has a huge increase in life. Damage reduction from enemies replaced with Intelligence Affix. This is nice. Now they understand, like, we don't need really the damage reduction, but right now, again, the damage reduction is coming from the armor. Casimate's Legacy, so they are also adjusting and reworking and changing the affixes, which is the affixes that they are replacing it with is much more better. And then for the Indira's Memory, so now the Bone Spear deal additional damage. It's a blood skill, casting Bone Spear will still the same. They have removed, but I believe they have removed the Blood Waves cooldown. So it's no longer reducing the Blood Waves cooldown, but I feel like the Bone Spear is still lacking some damage multipliers, and especially with the rework of the overpower and the bone duster aspect. This build needs some rework, hopefully in the future. Damage reduction, so again they're placing it with the intelligence affixes. Basically intelligence is our it's a very important affix for the necromancer, because it not just it increases our damage, skill damage, but also our resistances, especially right now. If we need to be tougher, if we need our toughness rating to be as high as possible, if you want to play and if you want to push, if you want to play on the leaderboard, so you need to increase your intelligence, your damage, and as well as your resistances as well. So Unmaker, same thing. Now they're placing it with cooldown reduction. So basically it's what they're changing on the items are very good in terms of, it's like they are replacing the affixes in a more affix that has more impact and more efficient. Then Gravekeeper, this is a good one. Now not just hitting on the healthy enemies. So now it also the legendary bonus damage now also we're also getting a the damage bonus is also including the enemies when they are in a injured state. And now this one, I think I was mentioning this on my previous stream, like what will be the purpose of the Blood Drinker. Now it seems like the Blood Drinker now has a purpose that when we are picking up blood orbs, then we're getting fortified. And as far as, like, for example, in the case of the Blood Surge, we are very good on generating blood orbs, so we will be getting those. We are going to be very efficient on fortification. So exhumation glyphs. So they're also changing the exhumation glyph. So again, they're changing the some of the enemies, and then item rarity. So they have also discussed the item rarities here, that rare items will be rarer after level 30, and then the legendary items, I believe before it was dropping at level 25, now it's going to start at level 40 and then up to level 60, and then I think it's still gonna be rarer on level 40. Okay, so, and I think they're also changing the materials that we are going to use on the occultist for the imprinting. Now we only need some veiled crystals and then forgotten souls to imprint, which is also good. Same thing with the enchanting and the blacksmith. And then here for the tempering, as I have said a while ago, rare tempering, now rare has now only one temper chance. These are temper chance, and then legendary and beyond has 3 temper chance. And then so when you use a scroll of restoration, so the scroll of restoration, so I'm correct, what I'm saying a while ago was correct. So you can use the scroll of restoration to restore the temper. So basically, if you temper an item and you don't want the item, I would say the only thing is, if you temper using a resource temper, and then if you want to switch with a offensive resource, I don't know if they're gonna allow you to switch with another type of temper. Maybe not. Maybe they're only allowing you to reroll the same type of affix, and then you can have you can reroll as many as you want. So yeah, so you don't have before, right? Right now at the state of the game is that when you temper an item and then you didn't hit the right affix, and then you use the scroll of restoration and you still didn't hit it, so So this one is just, again, you can now choose the temper affix that you need. The only purpose of this re-rolling is that if you find that the value of the temper that you're looking for is not the highest one, now you can keep on re-rolling the item until you reach the, if you really want to push and make the perfect affixes for your build, then you can keep on re-rolling the affix until you hit the maximum value. And you can keep using the scroll of restoration. There's no limit. So basically it's unlimited. Basically you can keep on like for example, you have 3 chances for the legendary items, right? So if you hit 0 and you're still not contented on the affix, then you can use again the scroll of restoration, roll the item again. If you're still not satisfied, you can still use again your scroll of restoration, and then it will reset again. And then so here they have explained how the masterworking works. So the masterwork will have it will, every upgrade, it will increase from 2 to 5 levels. The maximum threshold is 20. So 20 is from 1 to 20 is basically the percentage from 1% to 20% increase. So basically the masterwork, again, it only increases not the affixes anymore, but only the base, the implicit, the base value of the item, and they call it quality. So for the weapons, it's the damage or block chance, I believe, for the offhand, and then lucky hit chance, I believe. I think it's still damage on the offhand. And then on the armor, you have this your armor, basically your armor. And then on your jewelries, those are the resistances, I believe. For the boots, I don't know, I think still armor, boots, pants, gloves, pants, chest, and then helm. I think those are all armors. And then they are now bringing back the masterworking material called neat iron. So we're getting we will be using the neat iron in order to upgrade and reworking the masterwork the item. So when we reach the maximum threshold of 20% on the item, so it is now what they call masterwork. Then you have now the opportunity to upgrade and get the capstone bonus. So the capstone bonus will allows us to randomly get and place, basically upgrade one of the affixes to be a greater affix. If you don't have a GA, then it will have a GA now. So I would say it will become an ancestral item. If you have 1 GA, then you get the second greater affix by random. Any random affix. The difference with the masterwork now, if you want, you can still, let's just say the greater affix that it hits, it's not the one that you want. You can still re-roll by using the neat iron and obdusite to re-roll again the capstone bonus. However, it is no longer resetting the masterwork threshold item compared to when we reset the masterwork before. So technically, once the item reaches the 20%, the 20 threshold, it's there. It's not going to be reduced when you re-roll the capstone bonus again, which is a good thing that they did that. So now we have new healing affixes, life on kill, regen, life on hit, healing percentage. I believe they are, again, the reason why they're doing this, it's because of the new defensive rating kind of mechanic. So we need more life regen and more sustainability. So basically sustainability on our defense in order to be to survive, especially on pushing on, maybe on the leaderboards, on the tower, or maybe even on the pit. We don't know how powerful the monsters are dealing now. So And then there's also changing for the dungeons, and then the heraldic strong rooms, and some changes and miscellaneous. So there you have it. So PTR is going to be live on October 21st up to October 28th. So that will be the PTR for the upcoming season 11. So that is the PTR 2.5.0, and I'm very excited. So probably I'm assuming that the season 11 is going to start somewhere by end of the October. I would say like 4 weeks after the season the 2.5.0 PTR will end. So I'm very excited to play the next season, and we'll see what will be this new mechanics going to be. And it really overhauled the entire mechanic of the game now, and I believe it's a good changes, and there we are going on in a good direction on making the game more better, in terms of like now we have a better improvement on the tempering and the master working now, and now hopefully, and I'm still looking forward that the overpowered damage will be, especially for the necromancer side, the overpower mechanic will have some changes soon. So yeah, there you have it. Thank you very much, and yeah, if you like this video, please click that notification bell and subscribe to my channel, and so that you'll be updated on my next videos. And yeah, please thank you very much for watching, and hope you find this thank you very much for watching this my brief summary on the upcoming season 11 mechanic, and upcoming for the PTR patch notes 2.5.0. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video, and have a good one. Bye. How long was that? My goodness. I thought it was just probably because I discussed it. It's okay. Disconnected. Let's start the game. Okay, give me a second. All right, let's go back. How many minutes do I can still play today? 30 minutes.
We could use the respites.
Okay. Okay. What is this? Oh, okay. What am I missing? Quacks. I believe it's the Quacks rune. Quacks rune. We have now the unstable power, accelerating chaos. I need this one. Crazy brew. I think erupting chaos, and then we're gonna use the brawn over brains. And then I believe I changed the okay, let's change the Scent of Death. Sometimes, you know, because that is a what do you call that? It's not impromptu. It's not impromptu. What is that? What is that term? Wherein you are discussing something and basically you don't have any script or guide. So sometimes I find myself that I've been I have already explained something briefly and then I keep on repeating it again. That's why maybe, and maybe next time I'm going to, probably it's like at the back of my head I feel like, did I said it a while ago? Like for example, that scroll of restoration. Basically, as I was explaining earlier, the scroll of restoration, I was like, am I saying it correctly? Was it the scroll of restoration is for the tempering? And then I remember. Then basically, I'm correct. Bloodbath. Let me open my planner very quickly, as I can't remember what are the notes that I chose for that bloodbath. So bloodbath. So this one is correct. So I have only 39. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is not darkness anymore. We were gonna replace it with dominate. Then we will go with willpower. Willpower there. No more here. Go here. We have another willpower here. What else? Power here. There more here. There's one more here. This is 79. Is that 79? Yep. We got everything. And this one I chose essence. Essence here, dexterity here. There's one here. And go here. How about I chose this path so that I can remove these. Oops. This one. How did I go on that path? This bone graft board is a heavy. Dexterity 74. I'm missing one more. Where is that CD? Oh, there it is. 74. Gotcha. Now bloodbath. Shoot, I'm short. I'm short. I'm short. I'm short. I'm short. No. 540. So I still need the resistances though. Wow. If we 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I will remove this part right here, 1, 2, 3. It's just the position of the dexterity is very awkward. Oh, okay. I knew it. I can remove that one. Supposedly that is amplify, but we can't activate it. Abyssal, increase in non-physical damage, that is still fine. Yeah, basically it's everything is important. How's my armor? Armor still looks good. Increase healing, overpower maximum life. However, your maximum resistances are reduced, and then armor. Oh, speaking of healthy, now we are in a healthy state, right? Now we can add critical strike chance, maybe we don't need the spike armor. Then we can bring back the coalesced blood. Maybe we can remove, yeah, one more point there. Armor, we're still okay, especially if we place the armor. What is this? Adaptability, grasping veins, all macabre resource. Okay, that's good. It's time to gear up. Vision. Gloves, perfect. Lidless. Armor. No, I need the armor. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. The armor.
There is power in these stones. The stars made manifest.
Okay. 7.1. Good. That is too much. You know what? Let's just. I don't want to waste my. Wow. Global master crit. Wow, I'm getting poor. And take note, we can still master it. What am I missing? Maybe tendrils? Right, maximum. I have so many items here. So basically our amplifier is not working. Oops, give me a second.
Be ready.
Leadless the shielding storm, we forgot. What's that? Gar and... Is it Gar and Pok? No, Moni and... Gar. Huh? It may be my planner. Oops, I forgot. Shielding storm. Oh! Where's my... Wow, this is insane. It's melting the enemies. I feel like there is a culprit. There's a culprit. The culprit I'm talking about is the Crown Ablution. Like somehow, I feel like my resource is really depleting rapidly. Wow, 22 billion just because of... Even though our overpower is only 6,000. Hey, we need to cast our Bone Storm, don't forget. I think I need that critical strike chance disarration passive. That is going to really help on maximizing our critical strike chance. 204? What happened to our maximum resource? Oh, right. I think the skeleton. No. Huh? Why did I lose so many? Seriously? What the heck is that? I'm not going to use the Crown Ablution again. He's the culprit. Wow. What did just happen? Dead right away. Where can I still borrow? Basically right now everything is important. Everything is now important. Oh, there, we can borrow one from there. How many do you have? So we have 2. Maybe we can add it to the armor. Or not. Yeah, we can add to the armor. And that is without the potion yet. The precision elixir. So if we're going to speed farm, probably we're going to use the that's where we are going to use the Gospel of the Devotee.
Neither good nor evil. I may help you.
Gospel. Do we have gloves for the Gospel? Pants. I cannot use the pants here anymore. We're going to lose a lot of armor. Oh shoot, the grasping mace. Wow, this is
Interesting.
how ironic. It's like the piece like nye 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 nye. You have the wrong skills. Okay, let's try if we can beat Pete 90 with this one. What do you mean the Artisifer's realm is going to collapse? Oof. This is so good on this season, but on the next season, I don't think it's going to be performing like this. Like, this is insane. With the 100%, like the guarantee on the basic skill to overpower, that is super duper insanely powerful for the basics, for the basic skill. Like, look at that damage. This is speed 90, but it feels like it's just, wow, it feels like this is just, and we're not yet fully optimized. Probably tomorrow I'm gonna test this one on the Inferno Hordes. Yeah, I think the Crown of Lucian is, I know it gives us a huge amount of damage, but increase in damage is just when we lose our essence significantly during casting. Hey, we're not hitting the elite. Why? Why? Huh? Huh? What's going on there? Huh? Scam, scam. Something 75. I have the Gar rune also. Why I'm not? Supposedly, I can reset the bone spirit most of the time, sir. Ah? For all I know, I don't need the grasping veins. Either grasping veins or the bone storm should add a substantial amount of critical strike chance. Oh, I think I know the problem. When I cast the is it when I cast the yeah. I think the moment that I cast the bone storm and then somehow I casted the bone spirit that Crazy Brew, sir. Crazy Brew Pit na hindi cleared. That's it. The build is done. That's it. Usually that's my goal for my build that I usually that's it. It's done. Where's this one? Essence, Dominate. Where's Essence? Where's Essence? And then where's Dominate? What am I going to gamble? So speaking of, am I wearing the right ring? I believe should be intelligence, life, attack speed, right? I think I don't need this one anymore. Intelligence, and then I can roll the life here. Then I'm going to replace this one so that we can have intelligence. This is silly. You know why? It could have been the cooldown reduction that it was double master crit, but somehow it was the lucky chance. Probably tomorrow we're gonna replace. What time is it? Because I'm going to end the stream soon because I have to upload the video that I have recorded a while ago. So this one I don't need anymore. This one, max speed, maximum life. Maybe Whoa. Whoa, sir. Whoa.
What's still got some good in it?
The only thing, I'm poor. I am poor. I am poor. We are poor. Can we... This is corpse tendrils, right? Let's temper. Let's go with tendril size. Thank you. Let me do it again. Now we have 226. So now it makes sense. I didn't notice that. It was the bone, it was the mages. So now 236. Why is it that my bone spirit is still... What's going on? Now I don't like this one. Critical strike chance. Garrun will provide 25. What's happening there? Are you doing... I understand that my armor and resistances are down. Come here. I feel like you have some kind of a curse on that small alley that making me so fragile. See? I don't know what you guys are doing there, but you're cheating. You guys are cheating. I don't know what's going on, but somehow. Well, I have resistances here. Unfortunately, should I take this maximum life? Add it here. Since we have double life, how about we remove this maximum life? And then let's activate. There we go. But we need this one. Okay, this will be my last run for tonight. So tomorrow I'm going to use the Gospel of the Devotee and I'm gonna try to run the Infernal Hordes. Basically, I need more gold. I think the Crown Ablution is really draining my essence. Like what happened is when during the impact of the bone spirit, if I have a very low essence, so what happened is, am I losing that critical strike chance? Supposedly not. See, we are basically at 100%. Then most of the time we are supposedly Pit 90, it's like, it feels like Pit 80 only. I'm gonna try tomorrow. I wonder if I have a Gospel of Devotee that I can use in replacement of the Crown Ablution. If I'm not mistaken, I've been testing this yesterday without the special the chaos items, and I have seen that we can continuously cast the bone spirit without worrying about the cooldown. And with life on hit on next season, and then with attack speed, then we can generate more life. That's the part that that basically the affixes that they are changing on the elites. When you imagine you have that terror, double terror, and then or double frozen. Easy peasy. What are we going to roll? Ring. Offhand. Where is that? Focus.
Hello, shining beauty. Not a bad pull, that.
Ho ho.
See some steel you need?
Hello, shining. Hello, shining beauty. Not a bad pull, that.
Greetings. What's still got some good in it?
Hello, shining. Well, hello, shining beauty.
Gospel. Pants. And then helmet. Do we have Pain Gorger on the pant. I need it on the gloves because I need one armor that will carry an armor affix, the flat armor affix. Otherwise we're gonna be in big trouble. I don't think we still need that. Maximum light 20 to 40, no.
I forge more than horseshoes and nails. What do you need?
Well, if I... So tomorrow, how many... What is my movement speed now? Can I do this very quickly? Oh, it's already 9:46. It's... I need to upload the video after this, so... I'm going to try the Gospel of the Devotee here. The Crown of Illusion really drains the our essence. Because as much as I want the essence to be kept full. And basically, for as far as our Gospel of Devotee is concerned, excuse me, it will pierce the enemy for our bone splinters, right? So clear speed wise, we should be more better, and then we have a chance to do double damage as well. So, but the thing is, I don't have the Gospel with the chance for the basic skill to deal double damage is very low. 17.5 at GA, 17.5, that's 8.5 plus 8.5, so that is 26%. That is GA already. Then you master work, probably the maximum will be 50% chance, 40% chance, close. Or maybe instead of Crown of Illusion, maybe where's the gloves that I was using? Okay. Oh my goodness. Where are my items again? Is this the one? I forgot where's the glove that I was using before. Where is it? I don't know if this is the one though. I think this is the one. Yeah. Probably we're gonna replace the Quax rune with the Qua rune for more movement speed. So that we can, and then we're gonna equip the Gospel of the Devotee so that we can pierce the enemies. Basically, This one is so powerful, like, and it's because of the unstable power that makes our basic skill to guarantee to overpower. This is it's a very powerful seasonal mechanic tool for the basic skill. And now we have this one. There's still more room to improve. I'm thinking healing received, maximum life, maybe. I want to chase this overpower. I need a couple of more points. Damage reduction, maybe I can. What is this one? Resistances, damage reduction, maybe I can remove that. Let me grab this one and oops. Let's grab those overpower damage. See, this one is from. That's another 129. So basically, I would say like around 275 Paragon level that we can really fully optimize this build. But basically at this point, basically because of the bronze over brains, we are getting a double increase in life. A double increase in life, so we don't have to keep on investing on the life so that we can chase those nodes. And because of the bone graft that is so heavy on the Paragon nodes, I wonder if there is a alternative way. Like 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6. No need for the essence on kill. So now we have 3 more points. We can grab this one. Damage while fortified. I think I would love to get this one now. This additional overpower damage. I have less intelligence though. I have less intelligence. Now we managed to increase our overpower to 6,000 now. From 5,000 a while ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm less smarter now, less intelligent. I'm already using my incenses. I'm still behind, but I think that's okay. And basically we don't have the hardened bones, at least. We are very heavy on the unique items here. I think we're gonna drop the leadless wall, right? Leadless wall drop. Supposedly this is I forgot what was my setup before, but I'll check my plan. I believe this is supposedly lidless wall, pain gorgers, and then armor, chest armor to be a regular legendary so that we can place the flat armor affix, and then air perdition here. That should be the setup, and then that's the time that maybe we can drop the skirmishers. But I believe this one should be here. And with regards to masterworking, we need to hit the resource. This one, it should be the maximum resource. What else? Well, this one is already master crit. This one also. So yeah, that's it for me today. We're just gonna continue playing this build. basically for this week, for this weekend, I'm planning to upload the build guide for the Blighted. I'm not going to call it Shadowblight because when you say Shadowblight, I think most of the everyone will be expecting that this is a soul rift. So basically, it's another variant which is using the blighted core skill, so the blight core skill. So yeah, I'm still gonna upload it on weekend, and then tonight I'm going to upload after this stream the one that I just recorded regarding the this PDR 2.5.0. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.